Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw tonight was from the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. And Monday Night Raw tonight, I thought it was an okay show tonight. It wasn't great by any means, though, but to me it was an okay show. It wasn't flat out terrible like it is always. But tonight on the show, we saw Bronson Reed. He ended up taking on Otis. Tommaso Ciampa took on Ludwig Kaiser. Last week he took on Giovanni Vinci. We had Tegan Nox versus Natalya. We had the NXT North American Championship on the line. DOMINIK Mysterio defend the title against Dragon Lee. Why was this match on Monday Night Raw tonight? Same thing like last week. Why did we get Becky Lynch versus Natalya for the NXT Women's Championship on Monday Night Raw? And we had the North American Championship being defended tonight. This match should have took place tomorrow night on NXT, or WWE could have booked this match for No Mercy on Saturday, which is, the NXT pay-per-view. But no, we had to get it tonight. Good old Nia Jax was in action. I know a lot of you are probably happy to see Nia Jax. She ended up taking on Zoey Stark. We had Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston. And the main event, the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship was on the line. Damian Priest and Finn Balor defend the titles against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Same old shit. We saw this feud all fucking summer. And it's the main event of Monday Night Raw every single week. The main event is the same match every single week. It's either Damian Priest, Balor, or Damian Priest and Dominik Mysterio, Balor, Dominik Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, or have Cody Rhodes be included into it. And Cody Rhodes, he has no direction. Cody Rhodes has no direction. But overall, Monday Night Raw was an okay show. But before I get into the review, if you guys haven't checked out my previous video that I uploaded earlier, did an unboxing of my New York Comic Con badge. I am going all 4 days to New York Comic Con. So only 2 weeks away from the event. Looking forward to it. It's always a joy when New York Comic Con comes around every year. So we'll be there for all 4 days from Thursday to Sunday. And, I'm going to be there on my birthday, which of course is a Sunday, on October 15th. So it's going to be a joy going all 4 days. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. Monday Night Raw opened up tonight with Cody Rhodes. And of course, we had the sing-along from the crowd going, "Whoa!" So Monday Night Raw opened up with a sing-along. So Cody Rhodes made his way out to the ring. And Michael Cole in commentary ended up saying that they were in the Toyota Arena and it was a sold-out show. Of course, we had a recap of what we saw last week on Raw with, Jey Uso refusing to join the Judgment Day. McIntyre, of course, defeated Jey Uso. And after the match, we saw the Judgment Day started beating down on Jey. Cody Rhodes came out and made the save. And then McIntyre, did not come back into the ring to save Jey. So we saw a recap of that. Then after that, Cody was in the ring. He welcomed everyone to Monday Night Raw. He ended up asking the people at home to indulge him for a moment. He ended up saying he will turn his back to look at a sold-out Ontario, California. Cody ended up saying that he has been trying to address this subject for 2 weeks. Main event, Jey Uso. And the crowd gave a mixed reaction to Jey Uso's name being mentioned by Cody. He kept saying that Jey coming to Monday Night Raw means someone will be drafted to SmackDown. Of course, WWE is still holding off on who they're going to be drafting to SmackDown, for, Jey Uso coming to Monday Night Raw. And we all know who it's going to be. It's going to be Cody. Cody's going to SmackDown. He's going to finish off, his feud with Roman Reigns. And it's so leading up to Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Title's going to be on the line. Cody's going to be the one to take the titles off of Roman. So Cody ended up saying that, Jey Uso coming to Monday Night Raw means that a disgruntled locker room full of people who think Cody should let Jey think. So Cody ended up saying while him and Jey are not best friends, perhaps there are other reasons he wants Jey here. He ended up saying maybe they're not in the third inning anymore. Cody ended up saying regardless, he wasn't going to stand by and watch a man get jumped by three others for making the right decision. He ended up saying that the right decision was turning down the Judgment Day. And Cody ended up saying that the Judgment Day are undoubtedly the most toxic faction in history. And of course, that led to the Judgment Day coming out, Dominik, Priest, and Balor. No Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley still selling the effects from when Nia Jax ended up taking her out. So we had Balor get on the mic. Balor ended up asking why Cody always has to stick his nose in the Judgment Day's business. Priest then ended up saying that they gave Jey an opportunity to join them, and Jey turned them down. Priest ended up saying that Cody cannot help himself and wants to save the day because it's all about him. So Dominik ended up going to speak, and of course, we got the piped in loud boos, of course. It's absolutely fucking horrible. So Dominik starts flipping out, starts shouting at the crowd, and nobody in the crowd was booing. With the piped in boos being, included on there. It's like, stop with the piped in boos. Please. It is absolutely awful how it turns out on TV. So Dominik ended up saying that Jey will pay for disrespecting the Judgment Day, and that this is all Cody's fault. Cody started to speak. He ended up saying that it was rude of Dominik, and he invited Dominik to continue to speak, to which, of course, piped in loud boos rang in again. Cody ended up saying that Priest talked about the Judgment Day being a real family. He ended up saying that Dominik has a real family, and they can't stand him. Cody ended up saying that the bigger question is why they haven't come into the ring. He ended up saying this is Monday Night Raw, and before they come in the ring, the three of them are defending the championships tonight. So Cody was like to the Judgment Day, what happens if Mommy Rhea Ripley returns and the Judgment Day are empty-handed, without titles? So Dominik started shouting at Cody, ended up telling Cody to keep Mommy's name out of his mouth. So the Judgment Day started to signal, and they are getting in the ring. And then Jey Uso ended up getting in the ring. He ended up standing alongside Cody. And of course, we all knew where this was going to be headed. We going to have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens end up coming out. So the Judgment Day end up getting on the apron. And they end up stopping when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn running through the crowd and stood alongside Cody and Jey. Obviously, this was going to happen. So fucking predictable. So the Judgment Day then retreated by this, and the Judgment Day ended up going up the ramp, and J.D. McDonough joined the Judgment Day. McDonough came out, and he was carrying 2 steel chairs. and he ended up giving one to Balor. Balor and McDonough charged the ring. Dominik ended up reluctantly following Balor and McDonough, to which Priest wasn't happy about that. But Priest then followed Balor and Dominik and Priest. So we had a brawl between them. So Priest was left in the ring with Cody, Jay, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. And, Damian Priest was looking at them, and he was like, all right. He shrugged his shoulders like, all right, beat me down. Beat me. So then we had the four of them started beating down on Damian Priest. Jey Uso ended up super kicking Priest. Cody ended up decking Priest with a steel chair on his back. Priest then retreated from the ring, and that was basically that. But overall, same old, typical, your Judgment Day, and you have Cody Rhodes out there, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. It's the same old shit. It's the same thing every single week. Can we move on? Please? It's been going on all summer. All summer. With the Judgment Day, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. And like I said earlier, there is no direction for Cody Rhodes. He's being added to this Judgment Day, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens feud. And then we had the first match of the night. Otis versus Bronson Reed. And this was a decent match here. Otis was accompanied, of course, by Maxine Dupree. And then Bronson Reed came out. Match ended up getting underway. Both Otis and Bronson Reed ended up locking up in the center of the ring. They ended up locking up again. Reed applied a side headlock on Otis. Otis whipped Reed off, and he absorbed a shoulder tackle. Otis ended up applying a side headlock on Reed, but Reed whipped Otis off, and he absorbed the shoulder tackle. Both guys end up hitting the ropes. They end up going for a clothesline, but both guys end up standing. So both Otis and Reed end up shoving each other. They end up backing into opposite corners. They end up charging into a double clothesline, and both guys were knocked down, and they rolled out of the ring. Otis then ended up charging and clotheslined Reed on the floor. Reed got up and avoided Otis, who was charging into him, so Otis ended up running to the ring post. Reed immediately ended up following up with a stiff clothesline to Otis. Reed ended up getting Otis in the ring. He sent Otis into the ropes. Reed lifted Otis up, and he delivered the Samoan drop to Otis. Reed ended up going for the cover, to which Otis kicked out. Reed then applied a neck vice on Otis, but Otis ended up fighting out of that. Both guys ended up hitting the ropes, and they ended up crushing each other with running cross-body blocks. Otis got to his feet. He punched Reed into the ropes, and he connected with a stiff back elbow to Reed. Otis sent Reed into the ropes. He somersaulted under Reed and decked Reed with a lariat. Otis followed up with a back suplex to Reed. Reed pulled himself up in the corner. Otis avalanched Reed in the corner, and he fell to the mat. Otis then ripped his shirt off. He did the caterpillar, with the elbow drop to Reed. Otis headed to the second rope for a Vader bomb, but Reed moved out of the way. Reed then ended up hitting the senton splash to Otis. Reed then went to the top rope, and then he hit the tsunami to Otis. So Bronson Reed ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Bronson Reed ended up winning the match. Overall, this was a decent match. Two big guys, going at it. Both Otis and Reed looked good here in the match. I really like when, Wade Barrett always, sells Bronson Reed's finisher on commentary, and Wade Barrett goes, "Tsunami!" I always like that. He used to do that in NXT as well when Bronson Reed ended up in the tsunami. I just like how the way Wade Barrett, sells that on commentary. But overall, decent match it was. And then we had Becky Lynch, the NXT Women's Champion. She was backstage, and Tegan Nox approached her. Tegan Nox, of course, returned to Monday Night Raw. She was supposed to face Becky Lynch last week. She was going to be the one to accept Becky's open challenge for the NXT Women's Championship, but unfortunately, she was not able to compete, so she was replaced by Natalya. So Becky Lynch ended up saying that she hoped Tegan Nox would answer when she made the open challenge. Tegan Nox ended up telling Becky that she let the veteran Natalya have her moment. So Becky ended up telling Tegan Nox never to give up an opportunity. She ended up saying that she wants Nox to be next in line after she defeats Tiffany Stratton at No Mercy on Saturday. So pretty much, that was that. Tegan Nox, is getting an opportunity. And, Tegan Nox, she's very likable. She's good in the ring. And the one thing that sucks about Tegan Nox is that, she's very injury prone. So we'll have to see, with Tegan Nox here. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Adam Pearce was shown on the phone. He was saying that they haven't figured out who is being traded to SmackDown. Tegan Nox walked in, and she ended up asking Adam Pearce for an opportunity at the NXT Women's Championship. So then Natalya came in. Natalya ended up saying that she deserves a rematch. You lost clean last week to Becky Lynch. Why would you want a rematch? Tegan Nox ended up saying that Natalya lost a title opportunity. Natalya ended up telling Tegan Nox that she is passionate about her title matches. But Tegan Nox ended up saying that Natalya is not the only one who is passionate. Adam Pearce ended up saying that he cannot just hand out title opportunities, and that both Tegan Nox and Natalya can face each other tonight. Natalya ended up saying that she hopes Tegan Nox forgets her table manners. To which Tegan Nox ended up saying, "I'm starving." So that was basically that. So we had Tegan Nox versus Natalya later on in the night. And then we had Tommaso Ciampa versus Ludwig Kaiser. Tommaso Ciampa last week took on Giovanni Vinci. He defeated Vinci last week. So he has to get Ludwig Kaiser in order for him to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. To which next week on Monday Night Raw, there's going to be a contract signing between Ciampa and Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. So we'll be getting that next week. So there's a video that was shown early in the day where Ludwig Kaiser taunted Tommaso Ciampa. To which Ciampa ended up saying that he'll beat Kaiser and then take the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther. So this was a decent match here. Both Tommaso Ciampa and Ludwig Kaiser ended up locking up. Kaiser quickly ended up getting Ciampa in the corner. Kaiser started punching Ciampa in his midsection, and he came in the side headlock on Ciampa. Gunther was shown watching the match backstage. Kaiser took Ciampa down, ended up hitting the ropes, but Ciampa ended up wiping Kaiser out with a Lute Des press, and he had delivered some punches to Kaiser. Ciampa then ended up hitting a snapmare to Kaiser, ended up kicking Kaiser in the face. Ciampa then continued to attack Kaiser and bounced Kaiser off the top turnbuckle. Ciampa then smashed Kaiser's chest with a chop, and he stomped Kaiser down in the corner. Kaiser quickly ended up fighting back. He ended up putting Ciampa on the top rope before slapping Ciampa in the face and knocking him onto the apron. Ciampa then elbowed Kaiser in the face, but Kaiser rebounded by pushing Ciampa off the apron and onto the ring steps. Kaiser then mocked Ciampa's self-pat on the back, the thing that Ciampa does. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Ciampa was shown hanging upside down on the ropes. Kaiser hit the ropes and drop kicked Ciampa off the ropes down to ringside. Ciampa got into the ring at the count of 5. He pinned Kaiser with a back body drop over the top rope. Kaiser quickly got on the apron. Ciampa ended up chopping Kaiser and clotheslined him off the apron to the floor. Ciampa got Kaiser back into the ring, and Ciampa clotheslined Kaiser over the top rope. Ciampa then bounced Kaiser off the apron and off the commentary table, and then Ciampa ended up sending Kaiser over the ring steps. Ciampa was fired up. He ended up hitting Kaiser with Willow's Bell, and Ciampa ended up going for the cover, to which Kaiser kicked out. Kaiser fought out of the fairy tale ending. Kaiser then lifted Ciampa, but Ciampa slid off, ended up hitting a reverse DDT to Kaiser. Ciampa then pulled his knee pad down, and then Vinci got on the apron to distract Ciampa. Ciampa kneed Vinci in the face, and he turned into an enziguri from Kaiser. Kaiser ended up going for the cover, but the ref was dealing with Vinci. Kaiser was furious, and he kicked Vinci out of the ring, to which Ciampa connected with the ripcord knee to Kaiser. So Ciampa ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Tommaso Ciampa ended up winning the match. Post-match, Ciampa looked into the camera. He shouted at Gunther that he wants to take everything from Gunther. So pretty much that was basically that. But overall, decent match. Tommaso Ciampa, he's working his way, from Vinci and Kaiser to get his hands on Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. And then we had a highlight reel showcasing Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee, it was NXT, and really like that they put this highlight reel for anybody that doesn't know about Dragon Lee, who doesn't watch NXT. So, really glad that they showcased a highlight reel for Dragon Lee here. And then we had Tegan Nox versus Natalya. Boring match this was. Absolutely boring. Becky Lynch was on commentary during the match. She was putting over that she is a Grand Slam champion. So, the match started off with Tegan Nox and Natalya circling the ring. Natalya ended up hitting a side headlock takeover on Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox ended up grapevining Natalya's head. Natalya ended up kicking up to get out of it. Natalya ended up hitting another headlock takeover on Tegan Nox, and both women started trading pin attempts. So we had both women end up getting to their feet. They were exchanging hammerlocks. Natalya then ended up elbowing Tegan Nox in the face. Tegan Nox ended up shoving Natalya off, and Natalya started shoving Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox ducked the discus clothesline from Natalya. She ended up taking Natalya down, and she started punching away at Natalya. Tegan Nox connected with a back elbow, and she ended up kneeing Natalya in the face. So Natalya then avoided the world's shiniest wizard from Tegan Nox. She ended up rolling Tegan Nox up. Tegan Nox ended up kicking out. Natalya then connected with a sit-out powerbomb, to which Tegan Nox kicked out of that. Natalya then set up for a sharpshooter, but Tegan Nox got to the ropes and pulled her into the ropes. Tegan Nox connected with the world's shiniest wizard to Natalya. Tegan Nox ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Tegan Nox ended up winning the match. Overall, boring match this was. Tegan Nox, was good here. Like I said, she's good in the ring. But overall, boring match it was. If you have Natalya in a match, it's going to be a snoozer. And then we saw Balor, Dominik, and JD McDonough. They were talking backstage in the Judgment Day locker room. Damian Priest ended up throwing a chair. Priest got in JD McDonough's face, and he shouted that he took a beating because of JD McDonough. Priest ended up saying that he doesn't care who McDonough is friends with, and that McDonough needs to get out of their locker room. So McDonough quickly got out of the locker room, and that was basically that. Priest wants nothing to do with JD McDonough there. And then we had Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins made his way out to the ring. He wants an answer from Shinsuke Nakamura because Nakamura has been ducking and dodging him. And of course, we had sing along once again with the crowd going, whoa. And the crowd for Grand Slam during Phoenix and Moxley, for the International Championship, they did that there. They were going, whoa. It's in my vlog. Go check out that part of my vlog. The crowd at AEW Grand Slam during Moxley and Phoenix's match were going like that. For what reason? I don't know. So Seth Rollins was standing in the ring. Crowd was still singing, whoa. So Rollins ended up greeting Ontario. He welcomed them to Monday Night Rollins. Rollins ended up saying that he wants to play a game with Ontario. He ended up saying to them if they are as sick and tired as he is of Shinsuke Nakamura ducking and dodging him, and they could sing his song. So the crowd was singing along to Rollins' song again. So Rollins was like, if they think it's time for him to defend the World Heavyweight Championship, they can sing louder. So the crowd sang again. They sang again. 3 times. We've heard, whoa, all in one segment. So Rollins ended up saying, since they're all in agreement, there's only one thing left to do. Rollins ended up saying that for weeks, he has wanted a rematch from Shinsuke Nakamura, but he's been avoiding him. He ended up saying right here and now, Nakamura will give an answer. He ended up saying that if Nakamura does not agree to a rematch, he's pulling the opportunity, and they're moving on. He ended up saying that there are a million capable talents in the locker room, and that he just wants a fight. So Rollins was like, this is Nakamura's last chance, and the floor is his. So then Shinsuke Nakamura appeared on the Titantron. Rollins ended up telling him to name the time and place. Nakamura ended up saying that Rollins has so many demands, and Nakamura was talking in Japanese in his language, so we had subtitles, for what he was saying. So he ended up saying, no, it's no wonder Rollins' body is giving out on him. Nakamura ended up saying that he wants to be the straw that finally breaks Rollins' back, but he has restraint. Nakamura ended up saying that he has patience and has yet to show all his cards. He ended up saying that Rollins showed all of his. Nakamura ended up saying that he has a match so brutal that Rollins will not be able to walk, and his daughter will look at him with shame. Nakamura ended up saying that he has given Rollins one last chance at a fight, to hear his music being played, and to stand. So Nakamura ended up accepting the challenge. He ended up saying that at Fastlane, it will be a last man standing match. So Rollins put his head down. He removed his glasses, which they were large red glasses. So the crowd once again sang Rollins' song 4 times already. 4 times in one segment. It went from 3 to 4. So Rollins simply says, what happens in a last man standing match? There are no pinfalls or submission. 2 men walk in. Only one walks out. Well, thank you, Rollins, for letting us know how a last man standing match is when we already know what the last man standing match rules are. It's like WWE wrote this for Rollins, thinking that their fans are stupid and not knowing what a last man standing match is. We've all seen last man standing matches. No point in Rollins going out there and explaining what a last man standing match is. So Rollins ended up saying that Nakamura played this one perfectly. Nakamura, he ended up saying that Nakamura got the match he wanted on his own terms, and that he played it perfectly, but he has made one critical mistake. So Rollins ended up saying that Nakamura thinks that his broken back is a weakness to be exploited. He ended up saying that Nakamura thinks he'll beat him so badly that his daughter will be ashamed to look at him. He ended up saying this broken back is not a weakness. Rollins ended up saying for him, it's a strength. He ended up saying the only way his family will be ashamed of him is if he doesn't give it every single thing he's got. Rollins ended up saying that his family knows he loves them, but they also know that he loves wrestling. So Rollins was shown pacing around the ring. He ended up saying that Nakamura thinks he doesn't know that every time he steps into the ring might be the last time he does. So he ended up saying that if Nakamura thinks he will give any less than 100%, he's crazy. So Rollins ended up saying 100% makes him the best in the world and the World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins ended up saying that if Nakamura wants to get crazy at Fastlane in a last man standing match, only one of them will walk it. And it won't be Nakamura. Rollins ended up saying that it's going to be a visionary. It's going to be a revolutionary. It's going to be Seth frickin' Rollins. So pretty much that was basically that. But overall, this segment was just very meh, in my opinion. And Nakamura choosing last man standing, he lost the last man standing match to AJ Styles. What do you think? Nakamura is going to win this last man standing match against Rollins? No. Yeah, good luck, Nakamura. You choose a last man standing match when you lost one against AJ Styles. Yeah, Nakamura lost that match to AJ Styles at Money in the Bank 2018. And then we had Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond was backstage with Ricochet. Ricochet was on crutches, and Jackie Redmond ended up asking Ricochet when the WWE Universe can expect him back in the ring. Ricochet ended up telling Jackie Redmond that he doesn't know what to say. He ended up saying that he's here and on crutches, but he will absolutely return. He ended up saying that it'll take a lot more than this to keep him down. Ricochet ended up saying that he wants to make one thing abundantly clear. He ended up saying that it doesn't matter who wins the last man standing match at Fastlane. Whether he walks out or not, he has unfinished business with Shinsuke Nakamura. So that was basically that. After that last man standing match at Fastlane between Nakamura and Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura will face once again Ricochet. Because like Ricochet said here, he has unfinished business with Nakamura. And then we had the NXT North American Championship on the line. DOMINIK Mysterio defended the title against Dragon Lee. And this was Dragon Lee's, main roster debut on Monday Night Raw, considering he's still in NXT. But this was a good match here. Obviously, the match shouldn't have been on Monday Night Raw tonight. They should have held the match for tomorrow, or WWE, like I said, they could have booked the match for NXT No Mercy on Saturday. But no, we have to get it on Monday Night Raw. Just like why I questioned last week, why did we get an open challenge for the NXT Women's Championship with Becky Lynch on, having an open challenge? And then Natalya coming out there, and we had an NXT Women's Championship last week. I questioned that. So the match got underway. We had Dominic end up kicking and punching Dragon Lee in the face. Dominic ended up sending Dragon Lee into the ropes. Dragon Lee ended up ducking a clothesline and connected with a shoulder tackle to Dominic. Dragon Lee ended up pinning the ropes, but Dominic leapfrog over him. Dragon Lee jumped over Dominic, ended up pinning a running hurricanrana to get Dominic out of the ring. And Dragon Lee, in this match, he carried Dominic through this match. Dragon Lee then ended up pinning the ropes, and he ended up catching Dominic with a somersault plancha. Dragon Lee ended up getting Dominic in the ring. He ended up going for the cover, to which Dominic kicked out. Dominic ended up quickly taking Dragon Lee down and applied a single leg crab. Dragon Lee got to the bottom rope to break up the single leg crab. Dominic ended up grabbing Dragon Lee on the apron, ended up pinning a big DDT to Dragon Lee, and then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Dominic was shown headed to the top rope. Dominic ended up going for the frog splash, but Dragon Lee got his knees up. And they showed what happened during the commercial break where Dominic ended up tying the dragon tail on Dragon Lee's mask to the ropes, and Dominic started attacking him. So Dragon Lee started to take it to Dominic, ended up kicking Dominic in his midsection. Dragon Lee ended up kicking Dominic down the corner, ended up pinning a run drop kick, and then Dragon Lee ended up going for the cover. Dominic ended up kicking out. So Dominic started fighting back. Dragon Lee ended up taking Dominic down with a snap German suplex. Dominic quickly responded with a super kick, and then Dragon Lee ended up kneeing Dominic in his face. Dragon Lee hit the ropes, and Dominic ended up taking Dragon Lee down with a Michinoku driver. Dominic ended up going for the cover, and Dragon Lee ended up kicking out. Yeah, Dragon Lee ended up avoiding a 619 and kicked Dominic down. He ended up kneeing Dominic in the side of his head. Dragon Lee ended up going for the cover, and Dominic ended up kicking out. We had Dragon Lee ended up hitting Dominic with a hurricanrana off the apron, which was great. Dragon Lee ended up getting Dominic in the ring, ended up hitting a Dragon Bomb, which is a sit-out power bomb, on Dominic. So Dragon Lee ended up going for the cover, and Dominic ended up kicking out. So at the end of the match, we had Dragon Lee end up knocking Dominic into the Tree of Woe. He ended up hitting a stomp to Dominic's chest. Dragon Lee ended up charging, but Dominic ended up catching Dragon Lee with a first slam onto the top rope. Dominic ended up following it up with a frog splash on Dragon Lee, and Dominic ended up going for the cover. And there you go. He ended up winning the match, retaining the NXT North American Championship. He had no help from Balor or Priest. So, clean win on Dominic here. But overall, this was a good match here. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome," later on in the match. But very good match it was. But it was a good match. But the match shouldn't have took place on Monday Night Raw. Should have took place on NXT, or, like I said, they should have booked it for the premium live event. No Mercy on Saturday. And then we saw Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond was backstage with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. She kept asking the both of them about what transpired tonight. Kevin Owens ended up saying that it wasn't about helping Jey Uso. And all Jey proved is that he wasn't with Judgment Day last week. He ended up saying all he cares about is getting his hands on the Judgment Day. Sami Zayn ended up saying that this has nothing to do with Jey, Cody, or Judgment Day. He ended up saying this is about two guys who started as kids working their tails off together to get to the very top in the main event of WrestleMania. He ended up saying this is about getting back what is rightfully theirs. Kevin Owens ended up saying that he's tired of talking and wants to punch some stupid faces. So there you go. That was basically what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had to say. And then Michael Cole was in the ring. Michael Cole introduced Nia Jax. Nia Jax made her way down to the ring. Michael Cole ended up saying that since Nia Jax has returned to WWE, she has laid waste to everyone who has crossed her path. So Michael Cole ended up asking Nia Jax, why has she targeted everyone in the locker room. So Nia Jax ended up saying that she wasn't paying attention to Michael Cole. So she ended up saying that she is the baddest human in all of WWE. She ended up saying that they thought it would be Rhea Ripley being the most dominant champion, male or female. And she squashed her. She ended up saying they thought it would be Shayna Baszler. She got squashed too. Zoey Stark, squashed. Raquel Rodriguez, squashed. Chelsea Green, squashed. Piper Niven, squashed. So Nia Jax ended up saying anyone that gets in the ring with her will get squashed because she is Nia Jax. So Zoey Stark ended up coming out. Zoey Stark ended up angrily making her way to the ring. Zoey Stark got in Nia Jax's face as she sarcastically congratulated her on squashing her when her back was turned last week. So Zoey Stark ended up daring Nia Jax to do it to her face. So Nia Jax and Zoey Stark got into a shove-in thing here. Referees ended up running down to, maintain the both of them. And pretty much that was that. Overall, waste of a segment this was. Absolute waste of time. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, it was announced that for Fastlane, John Cena will fight Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa in a 2-on-1 handicap match. So that is set for Fastlane there. And then we had Nia Jax versus Zoey Stark. Boring match this was. We had Zoey Stark quickly jumping on Nia Jax's back with a sleeper hold. Nia Jax pulled Zoey Stark off, but Zoey Stark ended up drop kicking Nia Jax twice, to which Nia Jax didn't even go down. Stark going for a springboard, but Nia Jax swatted Stark out of midair. Nia Jax crushed Stark with an elbow drop. She ended up going for the cover, to which Zoey Stark ended up kicking out. So, pretty much basically, Nia Jax ended up putting Zoey Stark on the bottom rope, ended up hitting the guillotine leg drop. Nia Jax pulled Zoey Stark to the corner, and she ended up hitting the Annihilator. And there you go, Nia Jax ended up winning the match. Same old Nia Jax, same old. Nothing, about what happened here got anybody excited that she is back. It's just the same old. And then we saw Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton was backstage with Jey Uso. Jey Uso ended up saying to Byron Saxton that he doesn't want to join any groups. He ended up saying that Cody Rhodes took a chance on him, and he didn't like the way the Judgment Day conducts business. Jey ended up saying that he knows Kevin Owens has beef with him, but he's still good with Sami Zayn. Jey ended up saying that he will keep an eye on what the Judgment Day does tonight anyway. So that was basically that. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had an announcement. Elimination Chamber next year is going to be in Australia. WWE is going back to Australia since 6 years ago, where they had a Super Showdown down there. So, yeah, Elimination Chamber is coming to Perth, Australia next year. And then we had Finn Balor. Finn Balor congratulated Dominik Mysterio on retaining his North America Championship. And Balor couldn't find Damian Priest. So he went off looking for him. Pretty much that was that. A little quick, backstage thing with Balor and Dominik. And then we had Miz TV. Board TV. Miz welcomed everyone to Miz TV. He ended up saying that his next guest will speak for the first time since walking off on Jey Uso, as he was beaten down by the Judgment Day. So the Miz ended up welcoming his guest on Miz TV, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre made his way down to the ring. Miz ended up saying that this is an open, judgment-free zone. Miz ended up commending McIntyre for throwing Jey Uso to the wolves. Miz ended up saying that he would have done the same thing. McIntyre ended up saying that he is absolutely nothing like The Miz. To which The Miz ended up saying to McIntyre that they are a lot alike. He ended up saying no one expected McIntyre to abandon a helpless Jay. And that they also know what it's like to be the backbone of this company and be a champion, only to lose it. He ended up saying McIntyre was the unbeatable WWE champion until he wasn't. He ended up saying that McIntyre got the opportunity of a lifetime at Clash at the Castle in his own backyard, but the bloodline happened. He ended up saying that Jay beat him down time after time again. So The Miz ended up saying that McIntyre doesn't trust Jay, because Jay only does what's best for Jay. To which McIntyre ended up saying, karma's a bitch. Miz ended up saying that McIntyre is the Batman of WWE, and that makes Cody Rhodes the Superman of WWE. So he ended up asking McIntyre, how did it feel to be upstaged by Cody last week? So McIntyre was getting ready to answer, and he got interrupted by the New Day. So Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston made their way to the ring. Of course, Xavier Woods had Francesca in his hand, the trombone. Kofi ended up saying that they didn't know McIntyre was cold-blooded like that, and that the McIntyre they know isn't a coward like he showed last week. Xavier Woods ended up saying that for the last few years, they've called him Big D. Well, that's not PG there. So he ended up saying, but after last week, it appears there's some shrinkage on that end. He ended up saying maybe his sword is too limp to get the job done. So Miz ended up shouting at them, but McIntyre ended up telling Miz to shut up. McIntyre ended up saying that they expect him to save the day, and that the New Day did nothing. He ended up saying that Cody created this mess and had to clean it up. So Kofi ended up saying that McIntyre should have helped Jay out. McIntyre ended up saying that they forget everything the Bloodline and Jey Uso did to them. Kofi ended up saying that they remember, but last week wasn't the time to do that. He ended up saying that Jay was trying to make it right. Miz ended up going to speak. McIntyre ended up telling Miz to shut up again. So Kofi ended up saying that they look up to McIntyre. Miz put his hand up, and McIntyre ended up telling Miz to shut up. So Miz ended up putting his hand up, and of course Miz was like, do you know what this means? When my hand goes up, your mouth goes, and then McIntyre ended up giving him a Glasgow kiss headbutt. So then McIntyre ended up challenging Kofi to a match. And pretty much that was basically how the segment ended. Overall, another waste of a segment this was. Did not even care for it. This was absolutely boring. Boring segment. And then we had Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston. Very good match this was. Entertaining. I like this slow build that they're doing for McIntyre. They're slowly building McIntyre for his heel turn. And when that happens, it's going to be good. McIntyre is in dire need of a heel turn. So the match ended up starting. Of course, Xavier Woods was at ringside. Kofi ended up taking it to McIntyre. McIntyre shoved Kofi back and he clotheslined Kofi down. McIntyre ended up chopping Kofi's chest in the corner. McIntyre then whipped Kofi, but Kofi ended up springboarding off the middle rope with a drop kick. Kofi ended up hitting a running forearm in the corner. He ended up going for an avalanche, but McIntyre ended up catching Kofi. McIntyre powered him into a delayed vertical suplex. McIntyre then shoulder tackled Kofi down, ended up hitting the ropes, but Kofi ended up leapfrogging him. McIntyre soon caught Kofi, and Kofi ended up flipping through a back suplex, and he drop kicked McIntyre over the top rope. Kofi ended up going to the top rope. He ended up hitting a trust fall, and Xavier Woods put Kofi on his shoulders, and he ended up celebrating. Kofi ended up getting on the apron, ended up hitting a double axe handle to McIntyre. Kofi then headbutted McIntyre and got McIntyre into the ring. Kofi ended up hitting a crossbody block. and ended up going for the cover, to which McIntyre kicked out. So then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, McIntyre stood over Kofi. McIntyre ended up whipping Kofi into the corner. He ended up charging at Kofi, but Kofi caught McIntyre with a pendulum kick. Kofi ended up going for a diving elbow, but McIntyre caught him, and he ended up hitting an overhead belly suplex to Kofi. McIntyre then ended up hitting a second belly, and he followed up with a neck breaker to Kofi. McIntyre then kicked up, and he was waiting for Kofi to get up. He ended up going for a future shock DDT. So Kofi ended up going for the cover, and McIntyre kicked out. Kofi ended up hitting the Famouser, of course, tribute to Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler was released from WWE along with others, like Elias and Rick Boogs, Matt Riddle. Well, we all know why Matt Riddle got released, because of all the shit, with him. But Matt Riddle has nobody to blame but himself for getting himself released. But yet, we had them get released, but yet we have Nia Jax and Omos here still. And including Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is still employed. And they all get released. The names I have said. So Kofi ended up getting fired up. McIntyre avoided Trouble in Paradise from Kofi, ended up hitting a Future Shock DDT. And McIntyre ended up going for the cover, to which Kofi kicked out. So later on, we had Kofi ended up pulling McIntyre up. McIntyre ended up dropping Kofi to a Glasgow Kiss headbutt. So both guys were down. And then Ivar and Valhalla ended up coming down. Ivar attacked Xavier Woods from behind. Ivar ended up taking Xavier Woods out with a spin kick. So Ivar ended up sending Xavier Woods into the LED barricade and splashed him against the barricade. So Kofi ended up seeing what was going on, and McIntyre ended up pulling Kofi back, hit the Claymore kick. So there you go. Drew McIntyre ended up winning the match. Post-match, Ivar got into the ring. He stared at McIntyre. McIntyre walked off, and we had Ivar attacking Kofi. McIntyre turned on the ramp. He was looking, and he shrugged. He walked to the back. Ivar ended up going to the top rope, and he ended up hitting a moonsault to Kofi, which Kofi sold the hell out of that, moonsault from Ivar off the top. So Ivar and Valhalla stood tall in the ring, and pretty much that was basically that. Overall, very good match this was between McIntyre and Kofi. The crowd really liked this match as well. Later on in the match, they were chanting, "This is awesome." But good match. And then we saw Gunther. Gunther was with Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. And we had Gunther end up yelling at both of them. So Kaiser ended up saying that he would have won if Vinci didn't get involved. Gunther ended up saying that Vinci will be Kaiser's responsibility from now on. Gunther ended up saying that if Vinci messes up, Gunther will have a problem with Kaiser. He ended up saying that if Kaiser messes up, he'll have a problem with him. Gunther ended up saying that he'll clean up their mess and take out Tommaso Ciampa by himself. So there you go. Gunther not standing, Vinci and Kaiser losing their matches. So pretty much that was basically that. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we saw Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton walked up to Ivar and Valhalla. Byron ended up asking Ivar why did he take out both Kofi and Xavier Woods. Ivar ended up saying that both Kofi and Xavier took out Eric. And Valhalla ended up saying that it's an eye for an eye. So that was pretty much basically that. Main event. The Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship on the line. Balor and Priest defend the title against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This was a good main event, but the same old shit. We've been seeing Balor, Priest, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn all summer. All summer. It's been the main event of Monday Night Raw. Judgment Day, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been in the main event all summer on Monday Night Raw. From a tag team match to 6-man tag. It's the same old shit. It's same old. Match them getting underway. We had a huge brawl break out between these guys. Owens and Priest brawl at ringside. And we had Sami Zayn and Balor delivering some arm drags. Balor quickly rolled out of the ring to recover. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn stood tall in the ring. And then Monday Night Raw with the commercial. Then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Sami Zayn was in control of the match. He ended up taking Damian Priest down with a diving elbow to his head. Sami Zayn ended up going for the cover, to which Priest ended up kicking out. Balor then tagged in. He ended up getting Sami Zayn in the corner to deliver a chop. Balor ended up sending Sami Zayn to the opposite corner, ended up hitting a running chop to Sami Zayn. Balor then ended up hitting a snapmare. He elbowed Sami Zayn in the head and then applied a chin lock. Sami Zayn fought up. Balor ended up turning Sami Zayn in the corner and punched him. Balor then ended up whipping Sami Zayn to the opposite corner, but Sami Zayn popped out and clotheslined Balor down. Owens ended up tagging in. Sami Zayn ended up hitting Balor with a drop toe hold. Kevin Owens then followed it up with a senton splash. Owens ended up telling Priest to suck it. So Owens ended up punching and chopping Balor against the ropes. Balor ended up reversing the whip into the ropes, but Kevin Owens held on. Kevin Owens ended up booting Balor back, and ended up avoiding an attack from Priest. Owens ended up kicking Priest off the apron. Balor quickly ended up taking Owens down and double stomps on Owens' chest. Balor started stomping Owens' face and tagged in Damian Priest. Priest ended up kicking Owens in the jaw. He ended up choking him on the middle rope. So the referee backed Priest up, and Balor ended up getting a cheap shot in on Owens. Priest then started kicking away at Owens, ended up clapping Owens' ears. We had Owens ended up delivering a DDT to the Priest. Sami Zayn ended up taking in, started punching away at Priest. Priest ended up reversing the whip, but Sami Zayn springboarded over Priest and ended up hitting a clothesline. So we had later on Kevin Owens head up to the top rope. He ended up hitting a frog splash to Priest, and Kevin Owens ended up going for the cover, and Priest ended up kicking out. So the crowd started chanting, "This is awesome." We had also Kevin Owens ended up going for a swanton. Balor got his knees up. Balor then connected with a drop kick. Balor ended up going up to the top rope. He ended up hitting the coup de grace to Kevin Owens. And so Balor ended up going for the cover. Sami Zayn broke up the pin. So we had DOMINIK Mysterio out there. So Sami Zayn ended up going to the corner because he ended up hitting Priest with an exploder. And Sami Zayn was distracted by DOMINIK on the apron. Sami Zayn ended up going after DOMINIK. Priest grabbed Sami Zayn for the Razor's Edge, but Sami Zayn ended up sliding off. Sami Zayn then sidestepped an avalanche from Priest, and Sami Zayn hit the Blue Thunder Bomb on Priest. So Sami Zayn ended up going for the cover, and Balor broke up the pin. Balor started punching away at Sami Zayn until Kevin Owens ended up tackling him down. We had Jey Uso end up running down. He pulled DOMINIK off the apron. Jey Uso started punching away at DOMINIK until JD McDonough ran out there. DOMINIK and McDonough double teamed on Jey Uso, and then Cody Rhodes ended up running in for the save. Of course, obviously, I knew this was going to happen. You have Jey Uso coming out there, then JD McDonough's going to come out. Oh, is Cody Rhodes going to come out? Ding, 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 ding. He did. Predictable. So Cody ended up hitting a suicide dive on JD McDonough. He then started brawling with DOMINIK up the ramp. Jey Uso ended up joining in, and officials ended up running down to help. So Owens ended up hitting Balor with a stunner. Priest ended up sending Owens over the top rope. Sami Zayn ended up crushing Priest with a haluva kick. And then Jaden McDonough ended up smashing Sami Zayn in the head with one of the belts, knocking Sami Zayn unconscious, to which the ref was distracted of what was happening at ringside, so the referee didn't see McDonough smash Sami Zayn in the head with one of the belts, one of the tag team championship belts. So Priest slowly rolled over and covered Sami Zayn. So there you go. Balor and Priest end up winning the match, retaining the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Post-match, Balor, Priest, and Dominik end up celebrating the ring. Jaden McDonough looked on from ringside. So the Judgment Day ended up going up the ramp. And then Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso ran down and attacked them from behind. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ended up joining in. And we had a brawl between all these guys. We had officials trying to regain order, but it was just pure chaos with all these guys, brawling and going at it. We saw Kevin Owens hit Dominik with a stunner, and that was how Monday Night Raw went off the air. Overall, good main event, but still, same old shit. It's the same old shit that we've seen all summer with the Judgment Day, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and this is a potential. With all these guys here, this will set up for War Games. Maybe this will be a War Games match. As WWE does do War Games this year for Survivor Series, which Survivor Series is only 2 months away. So are we seeing a potential War Games match here? If WWE, does War Games for Survivor Series, I don't want to see a 5-on-5 Raw versus SmackDown at all. War Games needs to come back this year. And this is one of your War Games matches here, if WWE goes along with it. But overall, Monday Night Raw, okay show it was. But anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. So, see you all then.